Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Due to an unexpected absence from E-Man, I'm going to be solo casting tonight's game between Guard of Istiniar versus the Court of Renegades. Nevertheless, although E-Man's absence is always a matter of deep regret, hopefully it's still going to be a great game, and it'll also be very enjoyable for you. If you weren't watching the previous game between Westwood and Drusina, I'm Captain Lust, Community Management and Product Relations at Tailwords Entertainment. Currently streaming a lot of games in the Warband Native League. This is the 5th one so far this week, and I'm a veteran of the Court of Reverend. Court of Renegades is actually a merger between two teams, Court of Reverend and Court of Renegade and just the Renegades. So I do have a bit of experience with some of the players playing tonight, although it's been a while since I've played competitively, and a lot of things have changed. The Renegades are a French team merged with the Court of Reverend to form a sort of super team for this WNL competition. I'm not sure the specific reasons why they merged together, but I think they're a bit of a force to be reckoned with. Certainly the likes of Tornado X and Jukin coming in from Renegades have listed them as key players as well. Tornado X is a brilliant veteran archer, used to be in, I think, what was it, DFT or DXD or DFD, whatever those crazy old French clans were. IG as well, one of the oldest clans in the scene. Not quite as old as Court of Reverend, I don't think, but they have been more consistently active throughout the history of Warband. And they are now a multi-gaming community. I've just found out, I think they've just made this. They have their own Twitter. It's at IG_MGC. It stands for multi-gaming community, so do follow them on Twitter and send them a big tweet. I've ordered myself an IG shirt from @Freaky as well. You can see Freaky is the on-screen sponsor of both IG and the Warband Native League. Still waiting for my t-shirt from them, but shipping to Turkey is often problematic, so I'm not too frustrated. Hopefully it will come there eventually, and I can get my nice IG polo shirt, which I'm very much looking forward to. I believe Freaky t-shirts are putting forward 14 items, 14 t-shirts for the winners of the Warband Native League. So lots to play for the winners here. And since this is a Division A match, these are the teams in contention of winning the t-shirts. It's only the Division A teams that can theoretically win them. They need to come top 4 to get into the final playoffs, and as that goes on, as the playoffs go on, I think it's the top 4. It's the fourth place team face the first place, second and third face each other as well, and then the winner of those match fight in the final playoffs, and the winner of that gets 14 t-shirts for their members, which is pretty good considering it's an 8-team game, 8-player game. Sorry. Just a little bit of extra things to play for, and perhaps adding a little bit of extra professionalism to the tournament as well. I do want to give a shout out to audionautics.com. I've been using their music for the streams tonight, and I hope you've been enjoying it. But I've been enjoying having a little bit of background noise, a little bit of ear filler for myself. We will be playing the same maps and factions as played in the previous match we streamed. That's how the WNL works. All teams play the same maps and factions, which are randomly pre-generated. They will play the same maps and factions every week, which kind of makes sense because it means that every team is going through the same cycle. There is a lack of a picking element, but that is going to be introduced in the playoffs here. I think it's pretty normal as well, fairly standard stuff for Warband to have the randomized maps and factions. And teams just getting onto the server at the moment. I think they're going to be ready to start pretty soon. Black Tide, my co-commentator for the previous match as well, is now going to be playing for the Court of Reverend. The guy's a very active member of the scene, Rick Astley lookalike. He thinks of himself as Bruce Wayne, but we know in his heart he loves the Rick comparison, and who wouldn't? Both very handsome men. Bruce Wayne as well. Although Bruce Wayne isn't really... He's played by various different actors and drawn in various different ways. I don't know exactly which version of Bruce Wayne he considers himself to be, unless it's frivolous nonsense talk. I'm expecting... I mean, IG, you've got to call them the favourites. They did finish second in the last season of the WNL. Court of Renegades actually dropped out at some point. They were doing pretty well, to be fair, but they dropped out, and I think the overall points, when added back into the league, would have put them in 11th. I think that's why they've been placed 11th in the thread. But that's why I'm putting these last season finishes according to. They've actually got a slightly bigger roster than Gardasina right now. Gardasina always traditionally with a very big roster, being a massive, huge multi-gaming community. But actually, in this instance, they've not got the biggest roster in the league by far. But you never know. They could be making a pretty big impact. I'm sensing we've got a few issues here with a number of streamers. I think someone is trolling the stream. In any case, hope it doesn't affect your viewing experience. Looking forward to a good game between these two teams. Both very, very old. They've been around for, well, donkey's years. I think 4 years, both of them. I'm really excited to see how this one plays out. We'll be kicking off pretty soon, as the team's just getting themselves arranged, getting their drops prepared and stuff. Referee for tonight is going to be Zaharist, I believe, who was just playing in the previous match. A very fair player. And it's good to have Russian involvement in the sort of administrative capacity in the competitions, these European competitions. I think it helps instill some sort of confidence, which isn't always there from the Russian teams. They seem pretty distrustful. They can be anyway. Well, let's hope that your viewing experience is okay. We're having a few issues with the stream, possibly. Do tweet in and let us know that you're still able to see the stream without any issue. For me, it's just gone down. Hopefully, it's not going to stay like this. That shouldn't be an issue. I'm not getting frames dropped, so I think it should be going okay. The key players I've listed here for Istiniar, Wezik, Polish archer. Poland, I say this time and time again, they produce natural talent for Warband. Polish players, they always seem to just have a knack for the game, and Wezik's one of the finest archers around. Corey, UK captain and horseman, generally plays horseman. One of my favourite players to play with and to watch. Currently commanding for IG. Trara as well as a German archer. Specialises as a crossbowman, I think you could say. And headshot machine by anyone's standards. Got Revan in the meantime, Tornado X. A player which has come over from the Renegades. Although he's not actually a permanent Renegades player anymore. Went on with the mark since they're playing in the court of Renegades. But Tornado X is renowned as a bit of a headshot beast. Always had a pretty bad ping though. I don't know if he's resolved that now. I can't see him on the server. Perhaps he'll come in later. But very influential, very good archer. Blacktide in there as well, my previous co-caster. It's not nepotism, I swear. Blacktide is a very good infantry player. Very difficult to deal with. He tends to do crazy kind of things. Makes it very hard for people to deal with. And I expect him to be a big influence tonight. Lastly, on the Court of Reverend Key Players list, I've placed Jukin. Jukin, pretty tough one to handle as well. Traditionally, Italian players, they tend to produce sort of one incredibly talented player a year. It was originally Harlequin, and then it was Crusader. And I think following in their footsteps, Jukin is that current massively talented Italian player. I mean, he does have a lot of good players, like Alguera. I really like Rat as well, who's just joined, I think, Wolfpack, is it? I think he's just joined Wolfpack. A very good infantry player, formerly of the AB. AB unfortunately not competing in this WNL, but there's still a lot of their talented players around who couldn't quite make it. Not quite sure what's going on with the players right now. We do have a player playing under the name of Core Strong right now, which can seem to be only a troll. The core players perhaps just trying to psych out their Istiniarian opponents right now. I'm a bit concerned about the stream, guys. Do please tweet in. at Captain Lust to let me know that everything's going okay. A little bit worried right now. It's still okay for me, so it should all be alright. Oh, it seems to have quality settings are enabled as well. I'm not sure. I hope it's working for you guys. Tweet me to let me know what's going on with that as well. Just please do tweet in. So I got a bit of feedback right now. Guys, if you weren't here, or guys or girls, if you weren't here a few moments ago, you won't know that E-Man is an unexpected absentee for this match. He's fallen ill with the poor Venezuelan flu. But hopefully he'll be back, ready for next week. Oh, it's going to be a solo cast, unfortunately. You're stuck with me. I'll do my best to keep it entertaining and informative. So far, I mean, this is the first Division A game we've streamed, but so far in the Division B and C matches, we've seen that Vegas have tended to do better on Forts of Honor than Rodox, attributed perhaps to their scimitars. They tend to be winning 3-1 or so. But it's going to be interesting to see if that's going to be replicated when we get onto this sort of higher level. Court of Reverend versus Guard of Istiniar. Whether we're going to see the same kind of thing there. Thanks Chris Elks for tweeting in, letting us know that the stream is working fine. But I'm concerned because the chat seems to be empty as well for me. I don't know if it's just kind of bugged out. Nevertheless, if it's okay, then that's good news. Would you like to make sure that everyone can see our channel in all its glory? METV has been working a little bit of production lately, trying to make everything smooth as possible. And I'm managing the stream, and I've actually got background music for once, which I don't normally manage to do. I think the key differences between these teams is that IGR, they're renowned for their organisation. It's perhaps unparalleled in the scene. I mean, AE probably have the best team player and the best players, but in terms of organisation and discipline, IG have just had that going for 4 years, and the tradition carries on to the day. It's a very difficult thing, I think, for a lot of teams to play against, just being like such a ruthless organisation. But I hope that we'll still get a good match tonight, and Core can put up a bit of a challenge. Core, they're known for having player skill, but they're known for being trolls. Basically, is what they're famous for. But they have won an ENL, and a lot of their players are decorated with Nations Cup trophies. I'm going to go live and restart, so enough waffling from me, and we will get into the game in just a few moments. my music fading out has been appalling tonight. Hopefully I can work that one out as well. And into the game we'll go. Actually, I've probably faded out a little bit prematurely, but bear with me. We'll be getting into the game. Just a few moments now. Okay, and we're live. Here we go. Guard of Istiniar versus the Court of Reverend, facing off in this epic old clash of the ages. Maybe just get the game sound in. The game sound is pretty important. We'll be back in just a second when I enable that. It's a pretty passive start from both teams as well. At the high level, you do tend to have a bit more passivity, as the teams prefer to use the first round to just size each other up. In this instance, we have Core actually going for the 2 cavalry option. Both teams with 2 rangers, but IG with only with the 1 horseman and an extra infantryman, so 5 infantry total. Just listing out the teams as well. We have infantry for IG. It's Keck and Rempika, Siphon, Folmes, and Liveran. Corey playing as Cav with the Archer Sphere and Triari. So no show from Weswick, interestingly enough. For for core. The infantry are going to be core, Monkey, Black Tide, Pandemona, Modus Tollens, and Gorodir. Cavalry, oh sorry, not Pandemona. Monkey, Black Tide, Modus Tollens, and Gorodir. Pandemona and Dukin will be the cavalry. The archers, Broomstick, and Marder. Foams is my co-caster. Just the other night for a stream. It was a pleasure to have him on. A very big mover and shaker in the warband scene. And these teams have waited, doing not much for 2 minutes. Flag does spawn over in the graveyard, favouring IG, but they are going to have to defend against the oncoming assault of Core. Core pretty far back in the map, and Foams and Kekken are going to move out here to try and hold them off in this alleyway. As we see Black Tide, Broomstick, and Modus Tollens shifting up this alleyway. The rest of the core players are going to approach from the other sides. Going to try and sandwich the IG team here. IG are not raising the flag yet, so the pressure isn't on Core too much. As Core approach them, though, I think IG are going to back off and start raising that flag. The horse goes down for Corey here early doors, and that's a big blow for IG there. They're now down 1 horseman to 2, but Corey, with a sneaky move, whips out his crossbow and actually gets a hit off on Dukin there. Chirari finishes them off. Wonderful play from IG. Already seeing the high level effects. Core, in the meantime, just charge into the melee on the flag. Modus Tollens trying to turn and weave here. Corey finds himself a horse to pick back up. Chirari kills Pandemona. Kekken takes down Black Tide. Gorodir, Modus Tollens going down to Sphere and Foams, and IG taking this early first round. Foams with a double kill there. Very nice play from the Latvian. Broomstick goes down to Kekken, and it's actually a whitewash in the end for IG there. Their organisation shining through, and it was a really brilliant move that started it off. Absolutely fantastic to see Corey getting dismounted, whipping out that crossbow, and then Chirari finishing him off just in a moment later. Really very impressive stuff. And, well, a bit of a blow to Core's confidence there, I think, to go down with a whitewash in the first round. I'm hoping that we can perhaps see a few more even rounds in the future from Core. And Core are going to go into this with full knowledge that Vegas are probably the stronger team here. So losing that first round as the Vegas is a bit of a blow. But it's certainly not over yet. There's a lot to play for. 15 rounds left, in theory. Guys, you can tweet into me at Captain Lust. Remember to hashtag the WNL3 as well. Let us know how you think the match is going to go down. Is all hope for Core lost after that unconvincing first round? Or can they make something happen? Once again, passivity from both teams. I think neither team has really taken much of the middle. IG not even crossing the river. They'd rather see what happens with the flag and wait for the assault. Chirari sat like a lone sniper, just waiting to pick someone off. Very beautiful face there from Chirari. Picking that sort of Arabic kind of female face. Very nice. Lots of German players do tend to play as females. Foams as well, picking a female. Wait, is Modus playing as a female? That's quite interesting. That surprised me. I think this is a recent development. Modus never played as a girl before. But there you have it. That's his new style. Modus Tollens, one of the first people I met in the warband scene. A veteran of the Court of Reverend. Been around for a while. Flag spawns in the graveyard again, and once again Core, they're trying to assault. It's going to be frustrating for them, but I'm going to try and hope you do a bit of a better job of it this time. Black Tide and Modus Tollens approaching from the right again. IG pushing it, holding a little bit further up this round, but they have retreated now, and Siphon is going to join them. Siphon, not listed on the roster. I would have listed Siphon as a key player had he been on the roster, but I think, well, the thing is Siphon left to join the Russian team Stronk, which didn't happen, and now I think he's going to get joined back in by default on this, so not going to be a violation. Chirari gets an early headshot there on Pandemona, dropping one of the Core cavalry doors. Corey brings down Dukin, and there goes the other Core horseman, and Core just looking, well, they're just flashing up against the hard rock right now. Chirari getting another headshot, and he's just been pretty unchallenged there. Liveran brings down Gorodir in the meantime as well. Fight's broken out into all corners of the map, but IG really not lost much health. Corey does get a team kill there, and he's looking a bit shaky for IG so far. 3 against 6. Well, 1 against 6 now, as Monkey, the remaining player, Marder and Modus Tollins going down within the space of just a second. Remka finished off Monkey as the last kill. And, well, Core they got one kill that round, and a team kill from Corey, with assistance from the opponent, but really not looking too tough. Hopefully they can pull it back. And put up a bit of a fight here. Perhaps Core preferred to play as Rodox. We won't know. Do they have something different planned for this round, though? Because they don't want it to go the same as the other round, or are they just going to say, well, we got unlucky with the flags. Perhaps when the next flag spawns, it'll be in a place which is a bit more convenient for us. As Antonidas of the TNW would say, in our convenience. And maybe that would cause the round to go a bit of a different way. IG comfortable to sit by Turd Rock and a little campfire. I don't know, you wouldn't put a campfire under a covered straw roof. That seems, it's just asking for trouble, I think. That's going to get incredibly hot up there and probably set a light. So if you are making campfires, don't put them under thatched roofs. It's not a smart idea. Core seems to be shuffling forward. They want to get an engagement, but all they've done is like lose health here. 4 of them now in less than half health into the sort of orangey yellows. IG backing off, and the Core have actually attacked from the back in the mean side, but they just looked outnumbered here as well. And, dodgy strategic moves here from Core. I don't know who's calling it out. I think Jukin was at one point, but we're not sure exactly what's going on. Broomstick does get killed on Liveran, but Core once again 5 players against 7. They're looking very troubled in this on this set. Modus Tollins fighting desperately, but against these superior numbers for IG, it just seems hopeless. And his frail female character has been knocked aside. Broomstick desperately fighting against Corey and Siphon. They surround him, finish him off, and once again a pretty dominating round from IG. Core look hopeless. IG showing themselves to be, well, contenders to do pretty well here. Just we've got a tweet in from Craig Johnson, says that Rock's got a large win rate versus Vegas on Field by the River so far, but this IG game looks more like total domination to me so far. He said so far twice, which is confusing to read out. But the issue is, well, to be honest, in the other matches we've seen, Vegas have been doing better most of the time. Perhaps at the top level it switches around a little bit. Those crossbow shots a bit more reliable. Shirari been very effective so far, 5-0. And, well, I didn't warn you, the guy is a headshot machine. I think an important thing for Core is making sure they don't lose the round before it starts. I mean, losing so much health in the previous round was a big hit for them. I think they're going to camp this last round of the set out and just hope for a good flag spawn, and maybe that will sort them out. Seconds to the flag now, and IG shifting up. Siphon wearing his Hobonite gear. He's hungry for a bit of Core blood. Black Tide going to move forward and try and get something done here. Put the pressure on him, but just as he does that, Foams lobs a jab at him. Sphere throws shoots a bolt, and yeah, I don't think that the Core player is going to be popping out of that corner anytime soon. Broomstick readying his bow, but not going to get a shot off there against crossbows. Pop-out shooting is the crossbows business. Foams tweeted earlier on today as well. I want to read this out, quote unquote, because it was quite teethy. Today is going to be a wonderful evening after beating Core of Renegades, and that's a bit of a cat scratch. Foam seems pretty hyped for this, and he's doing pretty well so far for himself. Finally penetrating into the first team of IG and doing well, averaging a kill a round. Flag once again spawns in favour of IG, and Core are going to be feeling pretty angry about this, I think. I mean, Core, I guess, we're kind of gambling on the flag to roll with them, and oh, the headshots just coming in here from IG, and Corbin left having to assault this graveyard every time. It's not working out at all. More headshots from Chari. Modus goes down there to the backing and slashing of Oliveran. And already we're having a few comments from the core spectators. Chari just getting headshot after headshot. Easy peasy. And it looks like Core are pretty mad about these flag spawns. Yeah, Hard Blade as well complaining in the chat. But honestly, I think no matter where the flags are spawned, IJEC pretty dominating there. And they do go into the first break with a pretty convincing lead. Okay, sorry, just got to update the stream as well and get the music playing. It's quiet for some reason right now. Okay, here we are. Scores as well. IG taking an early 4-0, and that's pretty rough stuff, to be honest. I think Core are going to be feeling kind of devastated after that, especially since they lost rounders as Rodox. I mean, they're going to need it to get some rounds here, definitely, and for a dramatic turnaround, if that's what they're planning for. A couple of tweets coming in now as well from LaRue. A bit of news from the AE Legend match. LaRue says, we nailed our first hashtag WNL3 match. Up to the next one, up to the t-shirts. Hashtag shirt whores, hashtag esports, hashtag warband. So we know AE's goals are pretty clear and they involve t-shirts. Also about this match, he's tweeted in saying, perhaps Score feel more comfortable in field by the river in the open. Hashtag WNL3, hashtag warband. And yeah, it's possible. They're going to want to get Dukin on horseback. I'm wondering where not Stubar. Well, I'm wondering where Stubar is. Because he was in Crow. Oh, he's playing in Wolfpack, sorry. Okay, the name has slipped from my mind. There's a player for Core, and I'm wondering where he's at right now. But it just seems like nonsense. Wait for the Core roster to come up, and then I'll see it there. This is the first week though of the WNL, so even if Core loses, they can still fight back. I got Istiniar looking pretty strong right now, perhaps contenders for top 2, or even winners. Oh, Stubor is listed in the Core roster. But not around at the moment. In the meantime, Core's going to have to collect themselves right now. Focus on the task at hand. They've now got a pretty big mountain to climb. It's going to be hard for them to really get anything from this match without taking some serious rounds in the next part of this match. Are we live again? I don't think we're live, no. Perhaps we are live. We are live. Let's get into the match, because I think that we're live now. My apologies. As we go into the second set, the teams have already descended on one another, clashing in this side street. Early kills going to Core. Core taking a 6-fight lead right now with a lot of good health on their team as well. And yeah, this is live, certainly. I did happen to miss it there. Modus and Monkey picking up kills for their team, and just Liver and Rimpica and Triari left Rodok seems to be doing a bit better on this map so far. Looking to take the 6th round out of 6. Triari getting caught up in melee as well. Not where he wants to be. Did get the headshot on Jukon before he was caught into that melee, but Modus Tolerance wants to kill him as revenge for all of his activity in the previous set. He's hungry for some blood. Monkey does take a hit there, but eventually Triari's shield goes down and eventually loses life. Hired Blade coming in as a sub here for Core, making an impact with getting the last kill, finishing off Rempica. Sorry about that, guys, but we did catch the end of it. And well, that's a nice morale boost for Core there. They've gone off the. I'm gonna switch those. Apologies. They've gotten out of the starting blocks, and a little bit of Core frustration about the flags here, but they have managed to win the round. And as they sub out Pandemona, there goes the round win for Core. Perhaps the 2-cav wasn't working out for them. IG have now gone 2-cav as well, as Vegas seems to be preferred. Vega cav pretty strong, and plus you can get the extra horse. Well, actually the extra scimitars. It looks like Oliveran has been dismounted, playing as a dismounted cav for those scimitar drops, which makes sense. But Core were playing a proper 2-cav setup, which it can work on this map as well. What very wide streets. Pretty passive, but the teams are they're playing passive, but they're playing further up this time. IG holding a pretty forward line up by this archway. Class setups are pretty even. Core actually going with 3 crossbowmen though. 4 infantry. Actually, not even at all. Quite different. That extra archer instead of a cav for Core is going to affect how they play quite significantly, really. They're going to want to have those melee fights extending out longer, giving their archers more time to shoot, more time to have their involvement in the fight. In the meantime, no hits or bolts exchanged, or arrows so far in the round. Everyone on pristine health. Got a few, well, at least one old-looking shield there. Archer comes in as a sub 2 for his team. Did get 2 kills in the previous round as well, so I think having the big man himself, the Kingpin, has already made a difference. It might affect how they pick players for the next map. Flag once again spawning in the graveyard. Sometimes that's just the way it is. The random, I don't know if it's broken or if that's just the way the random goes. Archer being forced into melee straight away as the IG move forward, but it's a pretty scattered advance from the IG players. A lot of the players are pretty vulnerable. Kekken does bring down Archer though pretty quickly. Triari, Corey, and Svig getting kills though, and in spite of that, I don't think Core have not been able to capitalise on the scattered IG approach. They should have really tried to focus on one part of the IG force. Modus Tolerance forced into melee, knocked down, and finished off by Foams. Triari having pretty big influence there as well, getting off nice shots in the melee. And IG perhaps stabilising. They have now taken a 5-1 lead. And Core are going to be wanting to get these last couple of rounds under their belts. They certainly don't want to go down anything worse than 6-2, I would have said. Even that's pretty rough. But 5-3 is going to be sounding a lot better than 6-2 to them right now, so try hard mode. Archer shifting up this alleyway. He wants to be careful there because there's a lot of Istiniar folk waiting for him around the corner. Has Oliveran switched to infantryman there? I'm not sure. I don't think you can get that gear as a cav. Or maybe as a cav, it's hard to know. Oh, he's got more than one scimitar on him. Oh, no, he's got a military cleaver and a scimitar. This guy's armed to the teeth. IG mainly holding out in that little archway area they have. I think it's Triari set up in this passageway. Trying to get shots from Jukin. Oh, actually hits him as well. Brilliant shot. The guy's a beast. Taking the Kurgit bow, interestingly, and for anyone who wants any tips there. Triari's weapon of choice here is the Kurgit bow, and look at those boots. Banded, leather, whatever you call them. Fantastic though. Very well protected feet. Very important on a map like this. IG have shuffled forward on this side alley. Anticipation of perhaps a flag spawn over there so they can pounce right in on their opponents. But Modus Tollens and Black Tide's ugly face enough to scare him away. They don't want to commit. Black Tide just trolling them, slashing at the air, trying to wind them up. That's a good psych out. Flag does finally spawn in position over towards back of the IG spawn, and Core going to push right into them, try and catch them on the retreat. Are IG going to move here and force the fight? They are going to hold this corner. They're actually outnumbering the Core players here. Archer does move in to even up. But Core need a bit of extra support. Broomstick comes in now. Oh, a team kill from Monkey there. That's going to cost them. Blacktide does get the first kill off on Siphon though. But Core now player down thanks to that. Foams gets Modus Tollens in the meantime. And Foams another kill on Archer. Foams doing big damage to Core players. That military cleaver proving influential. I think that team kill really hurt the Core players there. Foams gets another kill off on Goldie, and it's all collapsing as IG steamroll this round. Really hard now as the military cleavers stacking up for IG. They've been doing their looting. Just Highblade left here, a long way away from his teammates. Not sure what he was doing over there, but he's not going to do much against 7 IG players. I can guarantee that. Foams gets the kill, and Foams putting a pretty big score. Only a sliver of health left, but 5-1, not bad stuff from the London boy. And going to the last round of the set, as I said, Core are really going to want to make sure they try and get this, because going down, well, 6-2 is pretty tough. Going down 7-1 is going to be, I think, almost impossible. Tweet coming in from Jeffo, I believe that's Beardo, saying, nice to see IG putting such a strong team forward. Looking forward to Warblade it up in the WNL. Another tweet in from Beardo as well, saying, IG MGC would also like to use the opportunity to wish A. Mitchell a happy birthday. Any chance you can sing for him? No, because then I'd be singing every day of my life. Although I would like a life where I could sing every day, like Julia Roberts. But Mitchell has too many birthdays for me to be singing him happy birthday upon every request. Nice that Beardo is still part of the IG multi-gaming community as well. Very cute. Oh, sorry, I'm bringing up the screen there. Very cute though. Lots of the IG former players stay in the grander community, and they do a lot of nice things for the scene, and always put forward a good, strong team in competitions like this. A lot of Russian players around for IG as well. Rempika, Siphon. Very varied scene. I live around a Swede as well. Swedes tend to be Counter-Strike players. They never... they have, I mean, for a long time they didn't make too much of an impact on Warband, but Scandinavia did win the Nations Cup this year. Finally a bit of success for the Nordic countries, the Nordic nations. Once again, pretty passive start to the round. The top teams do tend to prefer to slow it down and react to the flag. It does spawn in the graveyard again. And Core are going to be hoping to hold on to this. They seem indecisive. I mean, some of them have moved back towards the graveyard. Black Tide seems to want to hold up towards the front. IG are ignoring the side alley completely. They're going to go across the bridge. No one's raising the flag yet, so it's all going to come down to the fight. IG moving as a unified force across the bridge. They've got a lot of armor right now, a lot of lamella vests, and getting those down is such a pain. Some weak helmets though. Perhaps they could be dealt with. Highblade is getting mobbed here. I think he would have been better off running the other way, to be honest. He's going to try and get back into the graveyard right now, but he seems to be outnumbered. Corey comes in, but Highblade actually keeping 2 IG players busy right now. Jukin gets a couch chance kill off Odors against Sphere. Cool with the lead. Highblade does go down there, and he just seems to be impotent there without any support, or without supporting any of his teammates. Broomstick gets a little bit quieter there, but his teammates come out to support in that team fight, and the IG health is looking pretty low. Corey with the chance to win this. Modus brings down Rempika. Liveran takes a beating there as he gets slashed in the back by Modus, and Core seems to be running away with this round. Blacktide brings down Damn You Corey. Golder takes down Kekken, and Core 7 players to 3 are going to hold on to the 2-6. Trio with a brilliant headshot on Jukin though. Fantastic play. It's all for show though, unfortunately, as he can't turn it into anything more. Blacktide does finish him off. Gold it, and Broomstick getting the final kill for Core. And they do manage to hold this set at least to 2-2. And the map to 2-6. Not ideal, but it's there's worse alternatives that it could have been. So congratulations to them. And we will go into the second break now. I'll update the screen in just a second. Dun, dun. So 60 the overall score in favour of Core right now. In favour of IG, I'm sorry. IG looking pretty dominating in this match. It's understandable. As they are traditionally a very strong team. Feel by the river though, it's a dramatic change of pace from Forts of Honor. Instead of streets, will be the wide streets. We do have big open fields and rivers, as the name would suggest. Oh dear. IG, I think, are going to be starting as the Rodox side. And well, Turambar, according to Black Tide, has said that Serenade Cavalry are the best in the game. I don't know if they're going to be playing him, but if they are, this is his opportunity to prove how good they are and how good he can be with them. Because Core need to work magic on the Serenades. If they lose more than 2 rounds of Serenades, they won't even make it to the last set. But they're going to want to try and take everything here, get back to the 6-6, and fight out in the last set. I've been in a Core match before when we've come back. I think it was against Wolves. We came back from 6-2 on a closed map and won on Field by the River. So Core have got a bit of history. Anything is possible, but I mean the IG Cav look pretty threatening. I'm expecting Siphon to mount up as well, and him and Corey both playing Horseman. That's going to be a pretty hard thing for I think the Core players to deal with. But Core do have some nice cavalry of their own. Pandemonium, when it's not team killing, can do pretty well. Black Tide, a fine horseman too. I think Tura is probably going to play as well. Dukin as well, really strong horseman. I think he's pretty up for this WNL as well. He's been training fairly hard. A crazy clan hopper. And just a little delay here as the teams get themselves ready. Zaharis going to keep things moving, sitting in the referee chair. The umpire. It's hard to compare Warband to sort of traditional sports or even other esports. It's a very kind of strange game, but we do love it. Although a comparison has been made between duels and tennis, which I think is perhaps accurate. I mean, like, I don't know, it's wrong technically to think of mount&blade as the combat system as a back and forth thing. It's not a turn system, but you can sort of get turns developing due to the way that the stun system works. So when you block something, you can tend to get the next attack off if you do it straight away. So you can get sort of tennis-ish mechanics forming in the duels, if you want to make a comparison there. Not that you have to. But we'll see if Court of Reverend can make anything happen. That was an unintentional pun, by the way. Court of Reverend. Tennis Court of Reverend. I don't know where I'm going with that, but there's something there. This is why I need you, E-Man. Where have you gone? Hopefully the quality settings are working as well. I did get in touch with Twitch to sort it out, and I think they've resolved it. Getting some news in from Luru as well, saying that A actually won 15-1 against Legend. So Legend having a bit of a rough time here. I think they could have a seriously hard run in the WNL Division A this season. I mean, obviously, losing against AE doesn't mean too much. I mean, they're the best team. Chances are you're going to lose against AE, especially now they've got Peter, and I'm curious to know how much of an impact he was in that match. But I mean, yeah, only getting one round in any match against anyone as a Division A team is perhaps a little bit worrying. We'll have to see how Legends season plays out. One thing I really like about these seasons is that they're only 7 weeks. I think that's a really nice touch. It just means that no matter what, even if we get some drops, it's not going to last forever. You know, it's going to be like the season's going to end after 7 weeks. Keeps it nice and short and tidy. Previous ENLs and WNLs could run on for sort of maybe 13, 14 weeks. And law of averages, you're going to get more drops over those times. I wonder if we'll be seeing any 4-cav setups here as well. 4-cav is kind of the current alternative tactic, I think, on open maps, especially field by the river. It can be played out on. 4-cav just offers you a bit more, well, cav power, I guess. I mean, it means if you can force the fights into really open spaces, which all the flags theoretically can do, you just can overwhelm your opponents. I mean, they have so much to think about, and they have to be looking behind them and in front of them the whole time when they're fighting, and it really just pushes your opponents to the limit in terms of their awareness. Obviously, you sacrifice something in the melee force. Blue Vandafar has just added me, follow me on Twitter. I'm pretty offended and surprised it wasn't following me before on Twitter, but he's following me now, and has just let me know that Big P, I believe that's Peter, didn't play. He's on holiday, or holidays with 3 Zs. So thanks for letting me know, Blue Vandafar. And that's a Peterless AE 15-1 win against Legend. That's t-shirt material, finest cotton around. And looks like we're going to go live now. Right now, we can bring up the match screen. Into the Warblade. Here we go. Set 3, first set of the second map of the game. It's field by the river. Guard of Istiniar versus Court of Reverend. Guard of Istiniar lead 6-2. Court of Reverend spawning in with 3 horsemen. It's going to be Don Tarambar, Dukin, and Black Tide. Their infantry, Modus Tollens and Goldir. Archer's going to be Archer, typically, Broomstick, and Hired Blade. IG actually going for the alternative 4-cav setup. Crazy Boy, Siphon, Corey, and Rene. The Archers, Chirari, and Sphere. The IG infantry will be Oliveran and Rempagel. Interestingly, after taking it in the previous map, Oliveran not going to play cav on the open map. Perhaps not feeling comfortable. Playing in the more open map is quite a different way of playing Horsemen. Once again, pretty passive start from the teams. Core doing some fairly wide flanking here. High Blade, that is his traditional style. I feel like it's a kind of dated approach though. I mean, to be that far away from your teammates, I mean, if I just charged them right now, would he even be able to get over there fast enough to do anything useful? Black Tide sat in the ruin here as his cav. But maybe High Blade's going to be able to move into some nice positions when the fight breaks out, depending on where the flag spawns. If it's up on the hill, it'd be an advantage for him anyway. Flag spawns down in the middle position between the 2 forests. Core are going to approach, looks like via the riverbank, and this just looks... I mean, you get a feeling as a warband player when something is just going to go wrong, and I just think Core is going to just get shot to pieces when they go onto this flat ground and then cut down. I mean, you can see that there's nervousness in their eyes. Most times does not want to move forward. until they have more core support on there. With those 4 cav of IG, they don't want to move to the open at all. In fact, IG as well, completely ignoring the flag. They want to force core to rush into the open, put the pressure on them. And I think IG are playing this out brilliantly. I can't see, and you see the first shot goes down, hardblade goes down, and core just seem terrified. I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything on this map either. Golradir about to suffer the approach of a lot of enemy cav. Jukan loses his horse to a couch immediately. Turinbar going to show us what he means when he says Serenade have the best cav. And core holding on to their lives at least. It's 6 against 8 play on the player count. Siphon with the course that's going to come in for the couch lance on Golradir. Does miss it. Golradir completely oblivious but does stay alive. Oliveran raising the flag now, and the clock is ticking. Core have to get onto that flag and make something happen pretty soon. Only 30 seconds left. Oliveran loses a lot of health though there, and forcing the rest of the IG players to pile onto the flag. And the flag actually goes a bit higher for core. If core can get onto the flag and stay alive for a couple of seconds, Blackside actually gets a kill now, and the flag is still a bit higher for core. Golradir and Blackside getting kills, and core are putting this back. 4 players against 5, but the flag is higher for core. If they can get onto the flag and stay alive for 18 seconds right now, but they're letting it drop, and Siphon moves onto the flag. Is it high enough? 13 seconds. Blackside brings down Siphon, and incredible round for core as they look to be so lost. Oliveran staying onto the flag. He needs to bring down Golradir though. Turinbar comes in to support. Golradir is raising the flag a little bit more, and I think it's high enough for core here. 3 seconds left. Core are going to take this round only just by the skin of their teeth, and there it goes. The first round to core in an unexpected twist of fate. Certainly not what I expected, but they just wrangled it in the last second. They look terrified, and I think core are probably just as surprised as I am, just as surprised as IG are, and we have game on right now as core bring the score back to 3-6. Not a bad show. Tweet in from Flecker in the meantime says this is a response to LaRue's tweet about core perhaps feeling more comfortable on the open map. They don't look very comfortable, but they are 1-0 up so far, so don't count them out. Flecker's response is against Corey and Siphon, I'm not sure, mate. Yeah, they are terrifying prospects, but little puppies if you can force them into the right positions and get their horses down. Blacktide was a massive influence. They get 3 kills as the horseman, and I think we had a team kill from an IG player there as well. It was a perfect storm for core. They just slipped on and just got that flag up. Incredible round, and really shows that the minute factors which can just have a huge exploding effect on the round at this top level of play. I mean, it's so tight. And 3-6, that's going to feel a lot better than 2-6, I'll tell you that. Passivity once again from both sides. IG waiting out. They're actually sitting really far back. I think they might have plans to rush the open flag if it spawns behind the ruins. I've got a feeling they're going to charge it and sit on it, and perhaps even try and raise it. That's going to be really hard for core to deal with when they've got Mahood so far back and players all the way up on the stone bridge. If the flag spawns down there, it will be a disaster for core, I think. They need to start thinking about that, and Archer actually going to move down now towards the forest. That could be something which really costs them. But if it doesn't spawn there, they're in pretty good shape. Archer playing as an archer with a cavalry shield and a bamboo spear. Pretty radical setup, and he's got the full best helmet. Keeps up alive. Flag does spawn up on the hill, and that's a decent spawn for core there. Hired Blade has got a nice position up by the castle wall there. That's going to make it hard for IG to approach onto the flag, but core are going to be under a lot of pressure right now. They know that there's something cooking. They've got the round win, which was not expected, and they probably didn't expect. They've now got a nice flag spawn. They know they need to take this chance. They've got to take this round and win it, and with that kind of pressure on them, it's going to be pretty hard. They are doing the right thing by raising the flag, I think, and that's going to force IG into making decisions they don't want to take. IG in the meantime approaching up to the riverbank. Oliveran, Spear and Triari. And Rempika, the foot group of IG. The rest of them are cav. 4 cav there. IG now moving on to the flag. They're seeing the pressure of the core flag being raised. Oliveran knows that there's an urgency about this round. A minute left to play. Core cav are engaging the IG cav in dogfights over here. The IG cav grouping up now. Going to start moving on to the flag. Oliveran just touching the area of the flag to stop it from being raised. Rempika moves on as well. They see the urgency here, and core have the flag a lot higher. IG know they've got to get the kills, but they can get them. Rempika gets the first kill. Hybrid pulls it back though immediately. It's 7 against 7 here. Close round. Motor's in the thick of chaos right now, fighting against these players with a bamboo spear. Does go down to Renegade's efforts as a horseman. Corey brings down Black Tide as well, and Core losing players. They've got to hold on to this round. Jukin does get a kill here, but at what cost? Down goes his horse, and Renegade slashing him down. Renegade having a nice round with 2 kills already, and IG raising a flag. Can Core get onto it and stay alive for 10 seconds? That's what they're going to have to do. I think Rucher's going to get on there to try and keep the flag alive. Tura does get a kill here, and actually Core with 4 players against 5 are not doing too badly. If they can stay alive for 10 seconds here on this flag, they can get another win. But Tura goes down, Broomstick. He's got a hard time saving. He's the last player for Core. He's got 4 seconds to stay alive. If he can do it, he can win. But Core, IG with 2 seconds to spare, finish him off. Renegade is the man who gets the final blow. 3 kills for him in the round, and does the job for his team. So close there for Core once again. Only seconds in it, but I think they left it a little bit fine. And IG take the 7-3 advantage. Core got to pull something out of the bag here. They can't just rely on close flag wins. It's too tense. A little bit of smack coming back and forth in the chat here. Olivran, the brunt. Core players. Rabid and angry. I don't know what XBOCT is, but obviously there's a bit of meaning behind that insult. Jukin not happy with Olivran here. Olivran, traditionally a figure of controversy in the scene. A guy I've met in real life. Nice chap. Just very small child he was, really, when I met him. Very little person, him and Hubble. In any case, back to the game. Core sitting pretty deep once again. Up on the hill, up in the forest, gambling on the flag spawn, but they didn't see it through last time. In the sort of mid period of the round, they found a bit of space, got a couple of kills, but wasn't enough. Broomstick eventually falling down. And Broomstick trying to have a little archer duel here with Chara playing as a crossbowman. That seems to be a bad choice because, I mean, having any kind of range duel with Chari is dangerous. When he's a crossbowman, it seems to be a bit of a mistake, and Goldir has somehow already taken some kind of a hit. Yeah, a little bolt to his knee. And now he's no longer an adventurer. That's a horrible joke, so I apologise. The flag spawns behind the ruins, and IG are really in a fantastic shape to take this. Siphon dismounts to raise it, and Court of Renegades says Goldir. They've got a lot of running to do, and they're going to get there though. I think they're going to get there before it's too much of an issue. Black Tide goes there to pressure the IG cab off the flag, stop them from raising it too high, and the rest of the core players are already at the ruins. IG going to be there pretty soon too, but the flag isn't really very high for IG. In fact, Siphon's raising did practically nothing after Core pressed them off. Core's have to push into it, and they're going to need the cavalry to defend them. Basically, as they approach and go across this open space. But it looks a little bit difficult for them. Monosaurus has got no spot at all. All he's got himself is that a lance that he's using, or a bamboo spear. Crazy Boy coming over the attack from the back, but Modus, pretty good awareness, keeping himself alive. That's gets the first kill on Chari there. Pretty influential one. They want to get him down. Siphon though gets one back on Broomstick though immediately, and Core have made it to the flag. 40 seconds left to spare. They are going to force this fight, but they've got to just get stuck in right now because IG do have the flag higher. They're not going to change that. They've just got to get the kills right now. Corey goes down off his horse, and that's pretty good news for the Core players, but all the Core Cav getting caught up in the melee here. Jukin gets reared, and his horse is going to go down pretty soon. Olivran slashing away at it, gets down the kill on Jukin. The battle pulls back as well. It's 6 on 6. Really close round. But Core need to make this go faster and faster and faster because they don't have much time, and I think with these IG kills coming in, 5 against 4 is the favour for IG. Olivran makes that 5 against 3. Sphere is still alive as well. No matter what, he can just run onto the flag and win because they can't get him down. Their flag is high for IG. Goldir doing what he can, but the round is effectively over. High Blade has won once again. The last player alive for Core. I feel like he's taking too long to get involved here. When they really need to just force the fight a lot faster. High Blade hasn't been there for his teammates, and that's a bit of concern. Nevertheless, IG do go A against 3, and Corner to be doing some dramatics to pull this back. Oliveran with his serious roleplay armor right now. We'll be seeing this ended in the third set. That's what I wonder. Can they take down the tank? There's Oliveran. And the rest of the IG players, do you have any warhorses? I'm not sure. Renegades got himself a warhorse after a nice couple of rounds. Got himself a score of 6-1 as well. The German server host as well. If you have a spare couple of dollars or cents or dimes or euros or liras or pounds, you donate to the server cause, because you know, Renegade does run them for the community, and the guy isn't, you know, he's not a charity. Although with the work he does, it's almost like he could be. Not one of the bad ones as well that takes all your money and, you know, whatever bad charities do. Those servers need paying. More passivity as well from the teams. Fairly expected at this point. Quarter River and set up in their force once again. They do get a favourable flag spawn up by this hill. Mount&blade. He's been roguing it the whole game. He's on 1 and 3. Black Tie, the only player really doing much for core at the moment. They can do big performances from all their players, I think. Once again raising the flag as well, I think that's a nice decision. Modus and Golder, those little buddies on the flag. One with jabs, one with a bamboo spear. I love the selection. Beautiful turbans. They're dancing as well to avoid the crossbow shots of Chiari. You've got to dance in Warband. It's very important to dance when you're holding a spot stationarily. IG approaching it in the same way. They're running, going to just move on there, push them off the flag, and Croatia not going to hold the flag this time. They're going to give way. Are going to lose the flag height though, and that's could be influential later. Perhaps they'll regret that. Nevertheless, nothing's really happened in the Cav duels. No one's really gone down. Turinbar is desperate to try and make something happen, but he doesn't want to get ahead of himself. Core moving back into the flag now to keep the height. Crazy Boy comes in for the charge. All the Cav coming in now from every single side, and there's an infantry player. This is Chaos to deal with. Crazy Boy and Juke both getting kills at early door. 7 on 7. Black Tie gets a kill on Renegade B. Dontura takes down Rempika, and Core have got fight left in them. Oliveran goes down to Dontura as well. Dontura fighting with his favourite class in the game, Standard Horseman. Gets the stab off. I think that was a friendly stab on Modus, but Core probably still able to deal with it. Black Tide proving that he is best Cav, self-proclaimed. Rucha, another kill here from Black Tide as well. Takes down Corey. Siphon with a sliver of health left. Him and Sphere are not going to do this. Core, 6 players to 1, are going to hold on to this match. They are going to give themselves the chance of the draw. Sphere hacks off Shuken's head. But I think Sphere's head is not got long left attached to his body. Actually dies to an arrow, but you can be sure that after that, Core are going to be cutting his head off and putting it on a pike back in Reverend. I put them down as Court of Reverend, which I'm quite ashamed of as well. I'll change that for the last set. They are Court of Renegades. All credit to the Renegades players. And we do go into the third break. But Core have held IG to a 2-2 there. 8-4 the overall score at the third break. And at this point, Core can't win. But what they can do is sort of for a draw. And a draw is a pretty good result. I mean, not only is it a point on the board, which is always valuable, you also mean that a team like IG, which could be a potential rival team for Core, and certainly if they get a draw, then you would assume they would be a rival team. It's less points for them, and I mean, if you think about it, a lot of the other teams are going to be losing to IG. Probably, let's face it, IG looking seriously strong. If Core can hold them to a draw, it means that they are sort of 2 points ahead of the other teams, or even if they have an extra point and they've got IG down 2 points, and they're actually 3 points. You do make yourself 3 points ahead of every other team. It's just not the team you play against, or every other team which loses to them. So it's quite an important fight they've still got ahead of them, albeit incredibly uphill. I mean, they have to win every single round of the remaining 4. Playing as Rodox against Saranids on Field by the River, the native map. One of only 2 remaining native maps in the competitive cycle for World Native League. The other one being Ruins. Everyone loves a bit of Ruins, or maybe people don't, but whether they love it or not, it's still in. It's at least kind of balanced, I guess. The one thing I don't like about Ruins is that you can see the other spawn, which I never liked that in a map design. I always want to, I want to have like the other spawn closed and hidden, so you got to kind of scout out and work out what your opponents are doing, where they're going, what classes they're playing with. Guys who tweet in, do you think Core can do it? Tweet me in at Captain Lust, hashtag the WNL3. Tell me, can Core hold on for the draw in this last set? Do they have what it takes? I think possibly not, but who knows? Core surprised us already in this match. And Black Tide is finding himself some real pace. He was the only reason that Core even got 2 rounds. But perhaps he's got a chance to be a real hero today, if he can help Core to a 4-round win this last set and a draw overall. It'd be an upset, I think. Well, update as well. Team Ace here going 15-1 against S Gaming. Not bad result at all. Looking to be a strong Division C team. S Gaming taking a hard loss, the Turkish team, in their first match. Also, I will be checking out the other scores that have been coming in here. Specifically, I want to know what's gone on with Inquisition versus Kurwa, if anyone's got any information for that. Or Kurwa 12 for the win against Inquisition. To be expected, Kurwa looking pretty strong, as per usual. Sotomasu and his boys and his little band of Kurwa warriors. Looks like we're going live in this last set as well. So we'll go back into the game now, just elsewhere in the other divisions. Wolfpack take a 13-3 win against Nords. No scores coming in from the other game in Division A, which is Saracen's name. There's no scores coming from that yet, but I'm sure Dasvi will tweet us it immediately. And we will go into the final set now. It's game time, guys. Here we go. Oh, I did say I was going to fix that name. Let me do it now. Almost fits. Beautiful. In with the final set. Court of Renegades against the God of Istiniar. Pandemona still sat on the bench. Turkish player. Spent too much time on CRPG and lost himself some respect in native. Core have taken the main forest and actually pushed IG back onto the open field. I think this is a bit of a dodgy position for IG to start off in, but you're going to make it over to the ruins and feel pretty comfortable. But Core with good control over 2 flags here. Core actually taking 2 cav here instead of what IG did, which was take 4 as Rodox. 3 crossbowmen and 3 infantry. IG with a fairly standard 3 cav, 2 archers, 3 inf here. Perhaps a bit more standard would be 3 archers, but standard bows are pretty weak, so makes sense to have the variation. But interesting matchups. I quite like what Core are doing, to be honest. I like the 2 cav. If you can get your opponent's cav down and focus them down, it's quite easy to do if you have sort of 3 crossbowmen firing on standard horses. If you can get those cav down, 2 cav is more than enough to have a massive influence, and you have like a lot of extra beef in the fight, I think, in the melee. Core getting on the flag early doors, going to start raising that. The 3 infantrymen, Dukin, Gordir, and Monkey. Dukin looking sliked up. He's got his kettle helmet, my favourite helmet in the game, and his fantastic moustache. Early hit goes off somewhere that I didn't see. We have shots going back and forth. Sphere desperately trying to shoot onto the flag. Archie gets the first kill there. Headshot on Rempika, and a nice start here for Core. Crazy Boy coming in from the back with his horse, but doesn't get anything done. Dukin's taking a hit, taking a couple of arrows here, I think, as Siphon with his jabs is setting up a bit of a crossfire, forcing the Core infantry to expose themselves. But the flag's gone really high here right now for Core, and it's really putting the pressure on IG. They've got to move on to it. Core could actually get the win here if they just raise the flag. IG been too passive here, and yeah, I think if they can force IG off the flag now, Core could just get the flag raise. Liveran is on the flag right now, but they're moving off it. Core want to stay on the flag right now and try and get this cheesy win, because IG are getting kills, and that's not what Core want at all. Monkey is keeping himself alive on the flag, but if they just stayed on there, they could have perhaps won that with a sneaky flag win. Back to let's get back from Crazy Boy. But damn, Core takes down Monkey, and IG with a 6-4 player lead here, and the Core players are going down, down, down. Ruchi goes down here, and Black Tide, he's going to ride around for 25 seconds and try and dismount, I think, at the last moment to get the flag win, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Does lose his, oh, actually, no, doesn't lose his horse. Gets reared somehow. He's got to charge the flag now and dismount. The IG cab are going to let him get onto it. I think he's left it too late. Yeah, he's too far away from the flag now. That was his only chance. Loses his horse as well, and there you have it. Oh, wrong side. Sorry, this is dodgy production. But Istiniar playing, sorry, it's the Saranids, and they do take the round and the win, 9-4. So congratulations to IG. Commiserations to the court of Renegades. And fantastic play from IG. I think they fully deserve that win. Court of Renegades didn't look too bad for it. They had some nice round wins, but I mean, other than Black Tide, none of them looking too on their game, I didn't think. Whereas IG had some nice performances, especially from Terrari as expected. But also Foams played really nicely, and Renegade KB had a really good game as well. 9-4 is the final score, but I think it's reflective of the game. We had some pretty close rounds. It's just that first set where IG was so dominating, and Core of Renegades is going to be really concerned they didn't practice that a bit more. IG just knew exactly what they were doing on Fort Warner, apparently. But I mean, other than that, it was a really close match. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm going to try and bring someone in for an interview. Whatever kind of Istiniarman I can get involved. So Tomato has told me that they lost 1 round when Raiden crashed and 3 rounds when he was playing with 200 ping. So he's pretty. So he's basically just dissing Inquisition, saying that's the only reason they lost rounds. Kurwa, IG, and A looking like the front runners to win here. Perhaps Nameless as well could put in a performance. Interesting to see what they're doing. Guys, do tweet in if you know anything about the Nameless Saracens match. I'm very interested to hear it. We have a tweet in here from Marla saying he blames Erdogan, the Turkish Prime Minister, for the ping getting high just when he engages, and well, bad luck on the flags. Great play by Triari. I wouldn't really put it down to flags, to be honest, but that's just me. Gonna try and see if we can get an IG player in here and put up a little bit of ending music, which I can't find right now. I don't even know what my ending music is. But you're going to hear it pretty soon. This is it, my beautiful ending music. it gets more like dancey in a bit. It starts off like kind of a bit more alternative. Just looking for an IG player to come in. I don't know who we can get to come for an interview. I do stand by. We will bring someone in. I think they'll be in pretty soon as well.